Good afternoon, everyone. What happened? So the last class we saw about what is MapReduce programming. In the MapReduce programming, we have basically a mapper function and a reducer function, and we have others are how we are going to be do the find the maximum, how we are going to be find out the reduce operations, all those things we will see in one by step process only. So that we will discuss in the last class. So according to that, in the last class we saw about what is a mapper function. So what is the Java code for mapper? So this one we saw in the last class. So this is the mapper function Java programming. So these are the above mentioned all the input output that is nothing but Java packages. So here we are going to be installed, and this is the mapper, and we have here four parameters are there. What is that four parameters? We will discuss down. See here. So we have four parameters. So specify that input key and the input value and output key and output values are. We saw that. And this is the serialization we can take. What is the serialization? Converting from input to byte and byte to input. So that context only. What is this byte and input means? Here we are going to be consider all the input data in the ASCII format only. So that's why we need some conversation. So that conversation here we are going to be see in the manner of network serialization. Okay. So that is found in one package. That package known as org.apache.hadoop.input-output package. This serialization concept will be available. So the mapper function will use what is again we have using the long writable. Again, what are the things we can perform on the data means? One we can do on the data means write and read. So according to the stages of that is the blocks of our Hadoop, we have two. One is a master and a slave slice. That is namely as a name node and data node. In one way we are going to be perform the write operation. In another way we are going to be performing a read operation. So the same way here also in the programming manner we are going to be considered as a long writable. We are going to be write on the code what we are going to do. So that is like a Java string starting and int writable like a Java integers. So here one will be considered as a string, other one will be considered as an integer. These are the two. So the map method is passed a key and value. Again, we know that these are the form of generic, and we are going to be pass the values, two values. That is a one key and values. One is a key and another one is a value. We convert the text value, converting a line into an input into a Java string. Then it is used as a substring method to extract the columns which we are interested in. So we mentioned that one line we have a multiple data is available in one line. So that data set lines we saw in the last class. In the line we have a number of lines. In between we have a dots also. Dots is nothing but we have a data in between there. So that is it. So that we how much data we want, that data we were enclosed with the eclipse, that is brackets we were mentioned before. So in that brackets we are going to be consider for our programming is what the data we need. So here the data what we are going to be performing on the data set. We are going to be perform on the data set is, so in a particular year what is the maximum temperature? In a particular year what is the maximum temperature we are going to be finding. Okay. So one small announcement, still the people are not yet joined. Someone post a message and ask them to join immediately. So if you are becoming late join, definitely lose your attendance. Please join immediately. Ask them to join immediately. Someone post a message in the group. Okay. So such that what are the data the programmer interested. Again, from the small remember here. So whatever the things is going to be performed on the data set, that is based upon the programmer choice. So the programmer what data is going to be performed. So if the data, large number of data is available in the total data, which column? So we have a rows wise in which column that data is present. For example, in a row 17, for example, row 17, we have the details of year, and row 19, we have a details of temperature. So that particular two columns data only need while we are going to be perform the function here. So what the function? We need to find the maximum temperature in a particular year. So in that year, we may have a different temperatures also. So that's only if it is one time is present, we are directly conclude that that is the maximum temperature in particular year. But we have the sensors. We have different zones. We have sensors are there. The sensors are collecting different temperatures in a hour basis or a daily basis or monthly basis, whatever it may be. The data how we are going to be considered. So that only I shown in the NCDC website also. So how we are going to be select their data set, whether your data set is going to be select from day wise or hour wise or year wise or monthly wise. So that is, if the data is present, the programmer has to know that which column of data is specifically need for this one. So here the data set is there. In the data set, our aim is to find the maximum temperature. Sir, is that only thing we can perform on the data set? No, not like that. It is never not like that. So again, if the programmer is doing performance on, for example, in the total, for example, in 1950, what is the total temperature? We can arrange in some ascending or a descending order. So that also is a possible. So like that way, the programmer has a choice to select all the data. So if he needs to perform, what type of columns he needs. So that is nothing but what the data is going to be extract and which columns he is interested in do the operation. So that is the map method is provide the instance of content to write the output to, in case we write the years. That only. So for year wise we are going to be considered. Then text object, since just values are as a key. So I already said that we have a values as a keys and values. Just using keys along with the key we are going to be finding the value, and the temperature warped in a in writable. So warped class we are going to be used, in that we are going to be write in this. What is a warped class? In the warped class only we have the concept of auto boxing and unboxing. Remember that concept of auto boxing and unboxing. So once we need, we can go back to first unit and we can see that. So the concept is converting from what? Input to byte. So that is we are going to be doing some auto boxing and unboxing. Please remember that two words. So we write an output record only if the temperature is present and quickly the code indicates the temperature reading is okay. So that is that output record is going to be taken from the, by using this code we are going to be take the output. If the temperature is present is okay. If not, what is going to be happen? If the temperature is not present or a temperature is missing, what is going to be happen? So we mentioned that test number 80. Do you have any doubt? Number 80. My voice is not audible. Tell me why you raised hand. Is there any doubt or unwantedly done? So if what is the functionality of this mapper? So one thing is it is going to be provide the key value set. So that is the main functionality of a mapper function. Then what is another one? That definitely it will use from here. So this is that. What is that? quality of the code indicates the temperature reading is okay. The temperature is present and it is quality, the code indicates the reading is okay. If not, what? So that is the one more advantage of mapper. Can anyone say that? What is the another advantage of mapper phase? One is going to be create a key value phase. So that is the main thing. Then another one, we already so many times we instructed it. Anyone? Nobody. So it is going to be eliminate the bad records. No? It is going to be drop the bad records. What is the bad record? So it's saying that it is going to be read a temperature. If it is readed, then it is going to be shown as okay. If not, it is going to be drop that one. So that is another advantage of this. That is the main functionality of a mapper. So this is the next concept, that is a reducer code. This one the code for reducer. So same here we have a packages, input writable and map reduce package. So definitely we need to use a mapper reduce here, and the class is here the public class. The class name is max temperature reducer and extended to reducer. Here also we have 1, 2, 3, 4 parameters are there. That we will explain in the next slide. What are the things are there? So here we are going to be find the maximum value and minimum value. So that by that, see that integer min value per integer writable value colon value. So what is this colon? What it will indicate this colon? What it will indicate? Can anyone? Where it is? See. In the constructor we are going to be see, no? Constructor we are going to be automatically called. So this is the constructor. Scope resolution operator. Double quotes. So maximum value equal to max dot math dot max of values and all. So content is here we are going to be write it. So from getting the input from the mapper phase, and it is going to be perform the reduce operation. So how it is going to be reduced? So what are the code explanation will be here next. See this. So for the reduce function, we have 4 formal parameters are used to specify the input and output types. So again, what is the input and what is the output is going to be specified by these parameters. And the input type of the reduce function must match with the output types of the map function. So that is the input should get from the mapper. So that is nothing but text and into writable. So this is the thing we are going to be get from the mapper phase. Mapper phase to reduce. The function is going to be get the two input system. So the output types of the reduce functions are the text and in writable. 58. Please switch off your video. So the output types of the reduce function are text and in writable. In the year and its a maximum temperature, which we find by iterating through the temperature and comparing each with other, which with a record of highest found so far. It is going to be find highest to find so far. So how we are going to be find the highest temperature by using these output parameters. So for the, we have again 4 parameters. One is a text and input writable, and the output is going to be get from this input out input text and input writable into writable. From this we are going to be find the maximum temperature. So iteration operation. Iteration is nothing but a looping. So we are going to be continuously passing the information. One thing is going to be find. In the final, we are going to be find the maximum temperature. So this is a simple explanation about the reducer programming. So once we have a mapper and reducer, then we are going to be give this total code to the find the maximum temperature. So there we are going to be perform the iterations, and we are going to be have the data sets contains the values and key value pairs. So the maximum temperature, how it will be find. So here also we have the same some packages are there. Hadoop.fs packages, input writable text. These are the inputs, is nothing but this package is going to be get the input from the previous functions. So the input writable and text and map and reduce map reduce job. So what is the output of the mapper, that is going to be then file format and file input format and file output format. So it is going to be get again. So here we have a class is max temperature. So again we are going to be see the usage of temperature and input path. So this is the vapor classes, sorry, generic classes. So what the exact data we need, that only it is going to be considered. It is not going to be take any other data. If it is, then it is going to be exit -1. It is going to be exit 2 out of the program. Then here we are going to be create one job. So job equal to job, new job. For this object, this is the object we are creating for a job class. So small job. So we are going to be call all other set job by class and set job by name and file input output, and again set mapper class, set reducer class, set output key, set output values class, key and values, all those things. These are the classes. These are the what we are going to be through the object we are going to be called the class. So what we are going to be sending maximum temperature of mapper, maximum temperature of reducer, and the text value and input write values. So here we are going to be use some conditional operator, that is a question mark column. What is that? System exit job waiting for completion is true, it is 0, and if not, it is going to be sent 1. So that iteration process will be repeated continuously. So this explanation will be we have here one by one. What is this? We will see now. This is the program. Then here, next we specify the map reduce type used via a set mapper class and set reducer class. That one we shown it here. Set mapper class here. I think it is visible to everyone. Set mapper class and set reduce class. So this is the getting input from the previous one. Set mapper class and set reducer class. So the set output key class and set output value class methods are control the output types for the map and the reduce function, which often the same. So previous one we are going to be get the input. This one is going to be for producing output. So one is the output key and another one is output value. So it is very quite common names only, no need to confuse about. So by the name itself you can know that what is that function it will do, what is that particular class will perform the operation. So it is going to be use the set, the mapper class is going to be get the input, that input is going to be get, and reducer class input. Then through this it is going to be set the final output key and final output value. So if there are difficult in map output types, it can be using the set map output key classes and set map output value classes. So how it is going to be? There are different from the previous one. So the set mapper and the set reducer. So these entirely different from these two methods. So after setting the classes that define the map and reduce functions, the wait for completion method on job submit, the job will wait for it to finish. Where it was used, I remember the code where it was used. Wait for completion where it was used. In a conditional operator we are used wait completion. If it is true, colon 0 or colon question mark 0 and colon 1. So when it will wait, up to it will wait means it has to submit the job. When the job is going to be submit, up to that it will wait. Then later it is going to be finished. Okay. So that is after setting all the class. Then the method Boolean argument is a flag. In this case, job writes the information about the program to console. What is this meaning of program to console? Again, why it is mentioned a Boolean argument? What is the meaning called Boolean? So simple is 0, 1. So what is the Boolean function here? Nothing but. So see here in the code. So here the we are going to be get the output as 0 sometimes. 0 or either 1. 0 or either 1. If it is true, it is going to be used as 0. If it is false, it is going to be used as 1. So that's why it is the Boolean. So the method Boolean argument is a flag. So in the case, job writes the information about its progress to the console. What is the meaning of console? Means it is always it is going to be check it and writing in the output screen. So console is nothing but the black color screen which we are going to be seeing the output. That is the return value of the wait for completion method is a Boolean that indicates the success true or failure false, which translated into a program exit code for 0 sentence. That is what is this Boolean? It was mentioned here. So what it will return means either it is written as 0 or 1. So this is nothing but that what we operators in general we discuss about operators. So what is the output of a logical operator? What is the output of a logical operator? It is simply showing a true or false. So same here, what is the output of a Boolean argument? Either it's going to be passed as 0 or 1. Okay. So for example, if I ask if A greater than B, what is the output? If A greater than B, what is the output? Can anyone? If you're clear with that, then you can understand that this Boolean, what is 0. By simply using a relational operator, what is the output of a relational operator? Simply we can have a expression, then we have some value is going to be. Then what if we are going to be using some relational operators? Or else we can use some logical operators, or we can perform some manipulation bit level. So what we are going to be get an output. For example, relational operator, if A greater than B, if I am going to be considered. So it is produced either it is true or false. We are not going to be produce a true or false. With final, we are going to be take the condition. By that, we are going to be execute the block of the code. So that's why only we can call this one branching statements. Conditional branching, and have you heard the word? That's why it is named as conditional. If the condition is true, that particular branch is going to get. So that's why it is named as conditional branch. So, okay. So then we have a job object forms a specification of job and gives the control over how the job is done. So final, this is a transferring from object, from what that input to an object. Input to an object. So this is nothing but what is the concept of input to an object? Input to object nothing but is a vector class. So that is we are going to be consider how to job run. Then when we run this job in a Hadoop cluster, we will package the code into jar file. What is the meaning of jar file? What is the meaning called jar file? Yeah, everyone saw this file also. How to? What is the use of the jar file? Can anyone? I think you already studied the Java. So what is the use of the jar file? What it will contain? So here we simply mentioned about the concept of Hadoop manner, which Hadoop will distribute around the clusters. Then what it will contain is a jar file. The meaning of jar file means it contains only the runnable files. You don't have any code. So that's why, for example, simply we can see if you are in a previous mobiles we have a Java gamings are there. No? When you are clicking that particular game, it is going to be run in Java. It is going to become Java and it is going to be run. So, for example, the big game maybe games like even if a snake game also, we have a number of codes are there. 1,000 lines of code. So each and every time that 1,000 lines code is going to be executed? No. So that is the advantage of Java. Once we can create executable file, once we create a class file, we no need a input file each and every time. That's why again we can call this is a pure object-oriented program. Why? In a C program or C++ program, if we want to run it, what we need? We definitely need a source program to run it. But in Java, once we can run the source code, automatically the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, is going to be convert the source code into a dot class file and object file. Once it is going to be created, then we are going to be execute. exe file is going to be created. Once these three files are available, we don't need any source code file. Definitely, automatically it will run. So simply we can say what is the size of a class file and object file. It's in a KBs only. If you take in a total program dot class, that is a class dot Java. If you take that is a total code content. It is a if it is a big program, it is in MBs. If it is going to be considered in a class files and object files, it is going to be in KBs only. So it is a very less number of spaces needed. That's why even if we have without a memory in mobile also, we simply run a Java files with the local internal memory 120, 130 MB also. Simple, we have a Nokia phones on the previous mobiles, which enables a Java programming. So what is the internal memory of that mobile? Can anyone know that? It is only in the 512, very small. Even if that one game is going to be run on that particular memory, see that the program has to run each and every time. No. So that is the use of the jar file. So jar file contains, it is going to be having only executable files. You don't have any source code over there. So what here the Java files will do in the Hadoop means it is going to be distributed around the cluster. So the cluster nodes are available. It is going to be around the clusters. Rather than explicitly specify the name of the jar file, we can pass the class name. So see that we are going to be considered as a class name. Class name, the jobs set jar by class method, which Hadoop will use to locate the relevant jar file by looking for the jar file containing this class. So which jar file we need an exact value that is going to be located easily. So that is the use of a jar file. So this is also in the programming line only, jar set jar by class. This is also one of the programming. That's why we explain it here. Again, the next step you can specify the input output paths. An input path is specified by calling a public static add input path method on file input format. So this is a package where we have creating a class that is a static add input path is going to be creating, and it is going to be method on particular package, and it can be a single file, a directory, which in which case the input forms all the files in the directory. So it is considered as a single file. All those directories contain the same there. So the output also. So there we specified the input. Same here we are going to be specify the output. Same the set output path we have a method which will be in the package of file output format. Same the previous one, second one, and it's also specify a directory where the output files are reduced function and return. So output files is nothing but reduced functions and it are going to be written. So directory should not exist before running the job because Hadoop will complain and not run the job. These precautions to prevent the data loss. So we are not going to be specify the total path while program is running. It is going to be all the set. The finally we are going to be run it. So have you remember that three ways of installing Hadoop? So one is a linear model, then second one is pseudocode model, and third one is about fully distributed. In the three cases, in the last one we saw about cat function we were used. Have you remember cat? So in one place we are going to be use only same name. In another case, in fully distributed mode, we are going to be use two cats. Then the data is going to be divided separate. The same concept. Now the next concept is how to run this one. How to run the cat command, how to use it. So that is why we are not going to be use this directly before itself. So in order to avoid the data loss. So see this the test run. So this is the test run. So where we have the code. First we will see this line. Last second line. So this the output was written in the output directory which contains the output files for reducer. The job add a single reducer. We find a single file name as a part R. So please be remember this R part R is nothing but reduce. So that we will discuss in the next topic. What will the difference between old and new API of Hadoop? That is the next concept of old and new formats of Hadoop. That is it. So this is a format we are going to be using in new Hadoop manner. The file name. So how we are going to be run? See the cat output part reduce 00. So that is the output we are going to be get 1941. What is the highest temperature and 1950? What is the highest? The thing is, we are going to be set a map program, reducer program, and application for total maximum temperature. Once all this data is ready, we are going to be run a command to get the output. So this is the output for R is nothing but reduce program. This is the zeros of a file. So in this we are going to be get 1949. What is the maximum temperature? In 1950, what is the maximum? So see that the first line you can see. Let us test the weather data. Export Hadoop underscore class is equal to Hadoop hyphen example.jar. So we already said that all those files we are going to be creating in jar format. So the jar is contains only a class file. So it is a simple meaning is what is a jar means? It is a executable files. So Hadoop maximum temperature input.ncdc sample text is an output. So we are going to be get all the jar files and we are going to be get some sample output. So the how to run means by using a cat command we are going to be run this file. Then we interpret this as a saying the maximum temperature of record in 1949 is the 11.1 degrees and 1950 is 2.2 degrees Celsius. So we are converting the formula to Celsius. That is the numbers we are going to be formatted into a temperature units. That is 11.1 degrees Celsius and 2.2 degrees Celsius. So the final numbers we are going to be converted into a temperature format. So this is the simple Java codes for map reducer. So in the map reducer we have a three parts. So total in the next concept we are going to be see about total how what is a coder reducer and how we are going to be set. In between we have some more functionalities are there that we will see. This is the main thing we are going to be see about the mapper phase and reducer phase, and we have a maximum temperature to find. So we have two different codes we were explained and what is the output, how to run it, and each and every file, each and every program, what are the classes are there, how it is going to be used the classes. So same manner we can learn by the name itself we can know that what is the functionality of that particular thing. So that is a simple meaning of how to run a mapper program. So the next one is that only I said, no, what is the old and new of MapReduce APIs. So this is simple content only. We want to know that what is the difference between the previous version and the latest version. The Java MapReduce API used in the previous example. The first was released in Hadoop 0.20.0. This is a new API. Sometimes it is preferred as context object. Was designed to make use of APIs earlier to evolve in the future. So that is the meaning, nothing but we have in the old one we have to use the packages programs also inside. In the new context, the programs are going to be mixed into a package. So I will show you one more program here. That old API, how the program lines are very high and the program also very big. So then how it will be molded into some packages and how we are going to be using a new feature. That is a new Java MapReduce program. That is a new Java MapReduce APIs. The new API is largely completed with the latest 1.x, that is a 1. Series. 1. Series release the series. So there are several notable differences between two APIs, that is the old and new. The new API is a flavorable abstract classes over inheritance interfaces. What is the difference between these abstract classes and interfaces? So we simply in interfaces means inheritance concept we are going to apply. So this is interfaces to that, that is extended to that, extended keyword is using, that is the interface. So over interfaces we are going to be using abstract classes. What is the meaning of abstract classes? So generally we discuss in the starting itself. We have the implementation of stack using arrays, gani, alaga, something we were discussing. So what is the abstract classes? What is the abstract classes? This is abstract classes. So this is also one of the functionality of Java. That is what is the OOPS concept, no? Abstract classes, inheritance, all those things. What is the abstract classes? We are going to be hiding the information, no? What is the hiding of information here? So simply we are going to be considered as a jar files only. We are not going to be see about the total code over there. So what is the programmer need? That is a user, what type of code is only need? What type of commands he has to execute? That user information only is going to be mentioned. We are not going to be shown all the programming at the user side. Since there is an easier to evaluate, this means that we can add the methods by default implementation to an abstract class without breaking old implementation of a class. For example, the mapper and reducer interface is the old API's abstract classes in the new API. So we are not going to be breaking into that. The new API is in this package, that is org.apache.hadoop MapReduce package, and we have a sub packages also. The old API is still found in org.apache.hadoop.map. So in the new we are going to be use the MapReduce. In the old one we have mapper. So this is where we can find the old also. The new API makes the extensive use of context object that allows the user code to communicate with the MapReduce system. The new context, for example, essentially unifies the role of job configuration. So that is one of the a building block of Hadoop is job configuration. So the job tracker and task tracker will come. So the output collector and the reporter. So again we are going to be discuss about this one. So what is the reporter and what is we are going to be do the output collector. So the two also we have here. How we are going to be combine that, how we are going to be find the maximum value. So that also we will, how the code will be that, how that particular code is going to be running that new APIs. Okay. So the The next one is about the job control is performed through the job class in the new API rather than the old API, old job client. So the previous one we are going to be use a job client, and the new one we are going to be communicate through the job class, which no longer exist in the new APIs. So we are not going to be continue that one. We are going to be omit that. The configuration has been unified. The old APIs has a specified job configuration objects for job configuration, which is an extension of Hadoop's vanilla configuration object. In the new API, the job configuration is done through a configuration. So again, so that's why these three types of Hadoop installation is there. No, there we need to specify that what type of installation you are going to be do. Again, whether you are going to be use the old APIs or new APIs, that we are going to be selecting by the configuration itself. So that's only they said no, it is already available in the package also. So in the previous package, mapped package, we have a old data also there. So still we are going to be have that data also. So we need to install, that is the configuration time. We need to find out what type of configuration we are going to do. So some helper methods, help commands is there. No? Through that help you can find what is the job. Then output files are named as slightly different in a old API, both old API. So that is previous one where the text that is the run command is going to be used, cat command. There I said no, that is the meaning here. See that the old API, both map and reduce output files are named as part some number, that is a NNN number, whereas the new APIs are output are named as part map, that is a part M some number, and reduce function as named as part R NN. See that is the previous one we saw now. I remember that. Shall I show you again? So see here. Now it is visible. See this part R, some zeros are there. No? So that is the format of numbers. The 5 numbers are there. Same, that is the thing. See here. Whereas the new APIs output are named as, so part M is nothing but map number, and the output again reduce output. What is the reducer? So where the NNN is an integer designating that part of a number starting from the zeros. So that is the meaning of it. So we can see why we are specifying this means. So what type of input we are going to be run. So whether old APIs are going to be used and new APIs are going to be used is easily while running the cat command itself, we can identify what type of APIs are going to be were used in the program, that we will see by these also. So the file names are different in the both parts. So the user overrides the methods in a new APIs are declared through. So this is the one package here, that is the java.land interpreted exception. This means that we can write your code to responsive to the interrupts, so that the framework can generally gracefully cancel long running operations. So it is used. What is the long running operations means? Still it is going to be running if any data is not found in the data set. So if it is going to be happen, this interrupt exception is going to be run, then it is going to be cancelled. So that is the overridable methods is available in the new API. In the new API, the reduce method passes the values as a Java land.iterable rather than the Java land.iterator as the old does new one. So old one we have a iterator and new one we have a iteratable. So can change and make easier to iterate over the values using Java. So I told you what is the meaning called iteration. Iteration means we are going to be repeat. So that when you see that how it will be iterate, we have a for loop here, for of value in space value colon values. So that is We already discussed the programming line. We have the colon. So in the constructor, we have a scope resolution operator. How we are going to do. So that is a code. What is the meaning? We have a for loop. How it will be? So see this. We have a braces in between. We have some code. So this is going to be iterate based upon the values. Based upon the values, it is going to be iterate. The iterate function is going to be iterable. So this is the old program. So we saw about the previous and new one. No? This is the old program. So old program, what are the things was bold, no text. That was in the old content. We are going to be used like this. So that's why the name is also class name. It's also world max temperature. World max temperature. So how we are going to be used? This is the same lines only. So if you remember that the previous program, these lines are same only. So what are the things we were included in a bold manner? These are the bold APIs contains like this. So shall I show the previous one, previous code? The same part I will show in the new API code also. These lines are the same. I told you what is the meaning. I asked you to remember this plus symbol. Can anyone remember me? No. So I will show you within 1 minute. So this is the same program only. The highlighted things are will be the old program, old APIs. So these are the everything. So that we will see. So time up. I want to show you the thing how it will be the plus symbol. No? That is very simple. For example, everyone see my Excel sheet in the screen. Excel sheet is visible. For example, see that I am going to be write something. For example, 10. See that it is visible to everyone. See that this is the meaning of plus symbol. How we are going to be avoid that. See this. What is this? This is the number. See that how many numbers are there? How many 6 are there? Here. Once I going to be, this is the meaning of exponential value. That is the meaning of plus symbol. So it is nothing but in a format of mantissa and exponential. M power e. So can search is what is a mantissa, what is an exponential. So that we will know about. Have you understand what is the meaning of plus? So that's why in a program also they mentioned a plus. Is a plus is a simple. It is the extension of that number only. It is not a part of the code. That is not a part of that input line. Okay. So that is a simple one. So still anyone having doubt? Tell me, I will. So already 150. Then you can give a chance for the next class. So attendance daily it is going to be reduced. If it is like this, it is going to be problem. So please be in the class full time. So 18 members are absent. Why I don't know. 18 members, not only 1 or 2. Okay, thank you.